Say wave? Let's say watermelon. Oh, just watermelon wave.
Watermelon wave.
Interesting.
Alani. New. Founded at HEB.
That's what you should name. What's your friend's name?
Who?
What's your friend's name?
My friend?
Yeah.
Diane.
That's so you should name your friend Diane's and your first kid. Keeping this in.
I swear to God, if this is like the one episode she watches, I'm going to die.
Welcome back to Frenemies. I'm Ian.
I'm Stephanie Glorious.
And we are back for another episode of Young Justice.
Oh my.
So last episode, you okay?
Don't put this in, Ian.
So we found Red Tornado and
Red Tornado.
And Red Tornado, and then two other Red Tornadoes.
And more tornadoes.
But they were called Red Torpedo,
Tsunami,
Inferno, and Volcano.
And Volcanus.
And Volcano was something else. Just ripped off the arms of his papa, even though his papa wasn't really his papa.
He was a little more hardcore than the other two.
You know, that's what happens when you're like, no humanity. Just get rid of that.
You just put that to the side.
But we also had the introduction of Zatanna, which was great.
Oh,
she was fun. She was
a
lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
She makes really well with the whole crew too. They all hit it off pretty well. Robin has a thing for her.
As he should.
As he should. She freaking be as chalant as you like. I mean,
be as chalant as you like. Oh! How badass would Batman be with a Green Lantern ring?
Attention! You have entered the boundaries of Earth space. Disengage all weapons and engines. This is your final warning.
Who's that voice actor?
Code red. Full offensive deployed.
They can't show that on kids' TV.
It's not. It's a teen show. Welcome to comics. Oh, my heart. My boy. My man. My dude.
Tornado, did you?
Yes, Zatanna. We saw. Celestial defenses have failed.
Why are they not reacting at all? They just got literally incinerated.
We stand ready.
They're in shock, probably, dude. Well, not the whole, but a portion of the league was wiped out in moments. I mean,
I haven't closed my mouth since that happened.
To be fair, you haven't been in their situations of, life and death. Well, not like that, probably.
This is Iris West Allen.
Iris!
As you can see, the Justice League is attempting to hold the line.
Iris, get out of there!
I'm sorry, we're experiencing technical difficulties from our Central City feed. We take you now to a devastated Taipei. Ladies and gentlemen, we've lost Black Canary, Green Arrow, and the Hawks.
The Hawks.
Other heroes reported dead or missing.
Smallville!
Red Tornado to K. I fear I am all that remains of the League.
RT!
We are Earth's heroes now.
Here's where the aliens are now.
Oh. The whole planet, you say?
It's Superman's Fortress of Solitude.
Superman has a Fortress of Solitude?
Its power source must have attracted the aliens' attention.
Break it down. Build more. Hit those ugly aliens with their own mojo.
Ow! Martian and Kryptonian in the house?
Not that all aliens are automatically ugly.
Identifying weapon structural stress points and links to the ship. Here, and here.
Miss Martian, open fire!
Can't. Weapon systems are offline to incorporate the new cannon, and that's not fully integrated yet either. Got you covered. Get inside. I'm almost there. Artemis, behind you.
Oh God, boy. Sorry, Bear or Wally.
Wally better single-handedly win.
They're dead! Every single alien, if it's the last thing I do!
Side right through.
There will be time to mourn later. Now we have a job to do. Defend the Earth and ensure Artemis's sacrifice was not in vain.
They're really gone.
Uncle Sean! Maybe you were density shifting and the beam passed right through you.
Scrambling your brains along the way.
My mind is clouded. I feel certain I had something important to tell you.
Hello, Wally? Come on! This thing doesn't disintegrate. It teleports. Artemis is alive. Maybe, but no maybes. They're all alive.
That must have been what you wanted to tell us.
Dude, this is the quietest I've heard you in this episode of the show.
Because I figured they weren't all dead, but at the same time, it's like...
Oh! McGann!
Where would an alien race be teleporting people
That
to?
didn't feel like it.
We're falling back!
Oh boy.
They need you more than me! Go!
Oh my gosh, man. There's just so much happening.
Mission is clear. Superboy, you'll create a distraction.
No! He's offering you as a sacrifice. Aqualad would never do that.
You're right. Aqualad would sacrifice himself. A mistake that just cost us our leader. Superboy is the most likely to be perceived as a threat. The people of Earth will survive this. We will rebuild and we will thrive. Never doubt and never forget. The Earth will never
Alfred.
surrender.
Yeah. Because Alfred's the real lord here.
Be careful, Connor. I love you.
Smash!
All right, you glorified trespassers! You want to see how a real alien fights?
Oh, I was kidding. Help.
There's a couple more.
Oh God.
Oh,
Man, what a plan.
No. He's gone.
It's all right. We'll find him with Artemis. I know it.
No. My mind is clearer now. The disintegration beam is exactly that.
No, you're wrong. The Zeta radiation proves she's alive. She's...
Stop it, KF. I've been scanning for League and team signals since we got inside. They're not here. Artemis is gone. But our mission still holds purpose. To destroy this mothership.
You're on edge now.
why we were really here. 4 minutes. Let's go. 16 seconds and counting. Manhunter, take Miss Martian and go.
No, we won't leave you.
That's an order. We'll follow as soon as we blow those doors.
That's an order. Jesus. He grew up. In those few seconds, he had to grow up again. They both moved out of Vietnam.
Oh!
No. We have to get out of here now.
No, we have to end this now.
Hold up.
You're all alive.
What happened in there? The exercise. It all went wrong.
Exercise?
Try to remember. Manhunter psychically linked the 6 of you within an artificial reality. You all knew this going in. What you didn't know was that it was a train for failure exercise. No matter what the team accomplished, the scenario was designed to grow worse. Still, you were aware nothing was real, including the deaths of the entire Justice League.
That is why you hardly grieved. But all that changed when Artemis died. Though consciously Miss Martian knew it was not real, her subconscious mind could not make that distinction. She forgot it was only an exercise. And her subconscious took control, making all of you forget too.
I'm so sorry.
Even Artemis, who should have awakened upon her death, was so convinced she had passed, she slipped into a coma. I realized I would have to wrest control from Miss Martian's subconscious from within. But only when the mothership exploded, and Robert and Kid Flash were silenced, did my mind clear enough to remember my true purpose. To shock McGann out of the exercise, before your comas became permanent. My apologies. I had no idea a training exercise could be so dangerous. So damaging.
Oh boy.
No one blames her, but clearly we underestimated her abilities.
You understated. In terms of raw power, she has the strongest telepathic mind I have ever encountered. Stronger by far than mine.
What the fuck?
Jacob, before you say anything, I just want to get out. You do not understand how long I've been waiting for you to see this episode. The build up, everything, you were saying like, this is not a, kid show. I'm like, in my mind, boy, you don't even know it yet. You don't even know it yet. Oh, so good. Go on. Proceed.
So I have 3 notes here.
Yeah, I noticed.
3 notes.
I saw 2 of them. I haven't looked at the last one, though.
I have 3 notes. The first one, circled, highlighted, emboldened. Everyone fucking dies. Everyone. There wasn't even, I was...
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure the League has dealt with, God-level threats before, and these aliens just came in and disintegrated the main squad in less than, 10 minutes.
Problem?
Second note. Super Saiyan Wally.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
That... I wanted him to... whenever we were getting back to, how many times we talk about how Wally isn't up to speed with, regular Flash and, how he's not... he can't material...
You want that to, push him.
Yeah, I was
that
hoping
point?
that anger and that sadness would push him to, be able to overcome boundaries.
However, what you did see, granted it was because he had forgotten, but what you did see is his more true feelings, less, covered feelings towards Artemis.
Yeah.
And how much that hit him. I mean, of course, they all felt like just destroyed by it.
No, he literally said he was going to kill every alien.
Obviously, both him and McGann.
They're dead.
Him and McGann were just torn up to shreds. It's the most we've seen from Wally ever to this point. I don't know if you heard it, because, I mean, I can't blame you whenever it happened. He was like, Wally better, and then, you know, he lost it. But right afterwards, he's, you know, you just hear this scream from him whenever she died, and just like, boy. That you could feel it, and that emotion was there. Let me see if I just play it real quick.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of it was like, yo, that's what's been kind of been held back this whole time for him. And throughout the whole episode, it's his drive to bring everybody back was almost solely focused on her. Like the rest was, you know, he obviously wanted the others back, like, you know, Flash, his mentor, and basically uncle, not basically his uncle, but like this girl he has seemingly strong feelings for.
Yeah.
So
just got melted before his eyes.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
then there was that line where they were like, oh, Zeta radiation. Those are the stuff we use for our Zeta tubes where we teleport and stuff. So there was them just kind of like, oh, they're not dead because, I mean, this is the Justice League. You know, we're not going to eradicate the entire Justice League in the show. This is, you know, just teleportation. So, no.
So we'll get to that note here in a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
The only thing that made me question, like, early on whether this was real or not. No. It wasn't that they weren't reacting. It was, I don't believe that there is a weapon like that could insta-kill Superman.
You'd be surprised. It's not easy to. I mean, just for one. I mean, if he doused him in red sunlight.
Red sunlight?
It wouldn't kill. Well, that wouldn't necessarily kill him, but like if it was something, a red sunlight, and then like something else that was shot to like eradicate somebody. And again, Superman's not invincible. He's just highly durable. Like he's really freaking hard to just hurt him. But he's not completely indestructible.
But if there was something that was like that,
there was.
This is the result of that. Like that you
yeah.
You either dodge or die.
Mm-hmm. And when the one thing that was one of the hurdles that I was like throughout, just even when we first started, like my mind was already like, all right, episode 16. There's still a couple things, you know, Jacob will probably catch on to. Is like Superman. There's I guess 3 things. Superman, you know, that just kind of eviscerated him. 2, they're eviscerating the whole Justice League. And then the third one was the fact that they weren't showing any emotion in the beginning. And I'm just like, there's a chance. I mean, there are different Earths, so maybe, and there's the possibility of time travel that I brought up with, you know, Barry being able to run back in time. And then there was the whole emotion thing. That was what I was like, kind of like, where I kind of like was joking about. I was like, dude, they're in shock, obviously.
When I saw them and they were just like blanked out, like,
yeah,
I was like,
dude, come on. Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess like you've been going through some training, but to see everyone that you like and respect die.
Yeah.
Another thing that caught me off guard for like, oh, this is either not real or something is going on, is that we don't see any of the villains. Like, we don't see any villain characters getting wiped out, because I don't think a random alien species that's coming to wipe out life on Earth is gonna be like, we're not gonna kill the bad guys.
Yeah, and granted, it could just not be showing it, because they didn't show every single league or hero around, because they mentioned that Icon was gone too, which I granted you don't know who that is, but they didn't show him. They didn't show Blue Devil be eradicated, which they showed in I think 14 where they were showing like the fight against the plant monster. They didn't show every superhero out there, so I mean,
right, but we just got the entire team of the Light,
right.
And none of them were targeted.
But to be fair, I think it was like the point of it was just humanity. So it wasn't necessarily that they were focusing on heroes, but the fact that heroes were trying to get in the way kind of made it more of a buffer. But granted, yes, it was also supposed to be, again, training simulation set for failure. Like it would always get worse. I forgot the name of that training simulation, but it's been used in many other situations, other genres and stuff. But whenever, well, I'll let you. I have a lot to go over, so you can go ahead if you want. You can go. What was your last topic?
My last topic was
note.
Megan almost put the entire team and her uncle into a coma based on just her psychic reaction to the situation.
Yeah, that's another thing. Is in the beginning there wasn't necessarily any actual repercussions, when going into the simulation. And then when you find out that was just a simulation, you're like, oh, so there wasn't really anything on the line here. And then you find out when Artemis died, she was put in a coma.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, so that happens. And so every time the next one died, which the next one following was Calder, he was put in a coma, and so on and so forth. And the next one was Connor. So yeah, if Jean hadn't been able to wake her up, they would actually be half dead, essentially.
Yeah.
They'd be near dead. They'd be in comas. So it was real. That was one major thing. Now, after everything's been basically physically fine now this is one of the first moments we've got where there are going to be following repercussions after, because now we're not dealing with coma's terrible, yes,
yeah,
and that would have sucked, but now we're going to be dealing with scarring trauma that they're all dealing with right now. And Robin, I love, oh my god, after Calder was eradicated in the scenario, Robin, when he takes over, basically he has to take leadership, because he was technically the next one, kind of it wasn't officially hey, if by chance I go down or I step down, you're next.
Hey,
but he did say
that boy.
He took man.
He put the big boy pants on.
Oh man,
he even looked at Wally after he set the bombs, and he was just like, "Yeah, yo, get out of here. We got this. Don't worry."
And they're both just like, "Yeah, we're ready to go.
What is it?
We're ready to go down."
And the thing is at that point, in that moment, they thought that was real, and he was still 100% resolved.
Because the thing is, that's what Robin he's been taught that his whole since he was with Bruce.
Yeah.
So it's crazy that this 13-year-old kid has this sort of imbued into him now.
He has no fear of death, and he's 13 years old.
I wouldn't go as far as to say he has no fear of death, but he's not letting it get to him, and he's willing to meet it. But he's not. It's not that he's not scared of it, because I mean, but it's also just he's whenever McGann's no, you're not using Connor. He just wants to use you as bait, basically. He's like, Calder would never. He's like, yeah, you're right. Calder wouldn't. He would have sacrificed himself, which just cost us our leader. I'm like, oof. I mean, you're right, but oof. And that it was almost like a switch that flipped Robin, how he's always he's serious at times.
Yeah.
When he needs to be, but that goofy kid was kind of just gone at that point. He's like, well, I have, the mission comes first. I need to do what needs to be done so that we can save this planet and the people on it. And whenever they realized that it wasn't transporting them into cells, it was no, there's still a mission. We have to finish this. And Wally's he knew all along that there wasn't teleporting people, and this was the plan all along. He didn't even address it. He's like, he's like, 4 minutes, go, let's go. I'm like, oh my god, this is. Because I mean, you would assume that's the first situation Robin's been put in, to have to take the lead like that, and to that kind of a point to where he's just like, yeah, I'm putting my friends' lives on the line, knowingly,
for the sake of
humanity.
The greater good.
Yeah, but that's even though you're like, I have to do this, that's still gonna suck, especially when you do lose your friend because you put him in a situation you know he's probably not going to come back from. It's like, man, that's he's 13 years old. That's gonna hit.
Yeah.
So, this was an episode I was really sad for you to get to, and I was worried about people mentioning that. Like, oh, I can't wait till we get to this episode. I'm like, here's the comments. Scroll. I haven't seen anything like that.
I haven't seen anything like that, and
And I even, because there was a point, because there are points where I was like, oh, I can't wait till you get to this episode, but I didn't do that for this. I was like, nope, I'm not gonna even say anything, and I kind of sort of do, but I didn't think you catch. I figured you wouldn't catch on when I messaged you earlier.
I want them all to die. I want all of them to die. They weren't real.
But then then coma.
I want death.
I do think it was funny though that at the point where Robin and Wally were falling to the magnetic core, you were on edge. You were just like, and then Miguel, he shot a grappling, and you're just like,
because I was like,
breath of relief.
What? That? Because it just looked like a sun from a distance, but whenever they got down to it, you realize it's just like a lit up thing. But I was like,
what was their core?
Well, whenever you see it on the screen initially, it's just like, oh, that's the core. And I was thinking it was like solar powered of some kind, because then it would make sense, like how they were able to literally disintegrate someone who could withstand lava.
Yeah.
So if it was like a miniature sun that they were using to power disintegration rays.
Yeah. Now, another point I do want to mention is at the end when Jean was talking to the others, the Batman and them, quietly away from the teens. They were, he ended with him saying, the raw power she has is stronger by far than even mine, and that's crazy.
It's just not focused.
Yeah, he doesn't have the training, but he's like, but Jean is supposed to be one of the most powerful. I don't know about one of the most, but like he's one of the more powerful telepaths. But she's like her telepathic mind is leagues beyond mine, pretty much, and it's like, what?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and that kind of puts somewhat in perspective of her fight with Simon, in a way.
Oh, yeah, the Snake Boy, where he's like, I'm generations beyond you.
Yeah, he's like, actually,
well, you might be more practiced.
However,
we're just talking about raw energy output here.
Oh man, but whenever you saw the others being ready, like the other League members, what were you thinking? Like, because I remember you had somewhat varying reactions to them. Like when you saw Oliver and Black Canary get eviscerated, that kind of hit you. You're like, oh no, like
it's Black Canary, man.
Yeah, I know. What about when Batman got hit though? I was like, oh man, dude, that's gotta suck.
Batman escaped.
He didn't.
Like multiple times.
Yeah.
Finally got tracked down.
He's like, oh god, he's like fly, eject, and he's like, well, put him off. Yeah, man, he's like, you tease.
Battering.
Yeah. I did like that kind of. It was kind of putting it in perspective, kind of, even though you knew that they were all over the world, just to show just how overwhelming it was. Robin brought up the navigation. It's like, this is where the aliens are.
The entire thing was just red. I was
like all the continents and everything was covered in dots. It's like, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh man! And then you just see the Hall of Justice in shambles when they get back, and the army hunkering down. I mean, simulation for failure, man. It was pretty bad.
That was a simulation for failure for the League.
Yeah,
like that.
Well, because
for some teenagers, that was pretty rough.
Well, it would get worse every time. So it's not like they didn't set it up. I guess they set a certain point up, but then it would grow on its own. Because again, it was simulation telepathically, so it wasn't like it wasn't programmed. It was just the only parameters were like it'll get worse. There's no way for you to succeed. So it's just like it was more so kind of like a mental simulation. It wasn't actually a program simulation. Like again,
and then we kind of saw that at the end whenever it was just like they finally killed the mothership, but hey,
yep,
another
one. It's like all that, take it out. We lost everybody, and this is where we're at. Cool. That's we gotta go. And then Jean's like, no, go. But yeah, another cool thing was showing Jean. Like, what were you thinking whenever Jean showed up under the statue?
When I saw that, I was like, it kind of gave rise to the idea that what I was thinking, like, oh, they wouldn't kill off everybody, so it has to be some form of teleporter, like they're just getting teleported. And then whenever Wally like confirmed that and was like, dude, it's just teleportation, and then we saw Jean under the statue after he literally got hit by that beam.
Well,
I was like,
that was also before because that was what led them. Was like, wait a minute, let's go check out the thing, and that's when they got to the conclusion anyway that it was teleportation, because they found Jean first.
And so I was like, but I feel like their teleportation would be a little more precise than him just being under a statue.
They had stated they're like guess, I can't remember the word, but hypothesis I guess was like maybe you density shifted, and when it hit you, it like messed up your particles, and so the teleportation could have gone out of whack and crap. It was kind of like hey, maybe this happened.
It was a mistake because of his DNA.
It's density shifting. When they basically when he phases.
Oh.
So it's not.
Cheats.
Because like remember McGann, like when we first met her, they were asking and they were showing that Wally couldn't phase. Before that, they were like, "Can you density shift?" Like that's too advanced for me right now. I still need more training with that. So she can't do that, so that's why Jean had to do it. Like pulled her through and kind of did it for her, which definitely felt weird for her because she hadn't done that before, and it was like, yeah, it was her density went so low to where it passed through another object. And that's another reason why Martians can be so tough, is because they can go the other way, make their density, very dense. So that helps them also.
That's how he was able to literally shove his fist through his his knees.
Yeah. But man, I was so happy. I was happy. It was like whenever I was like, wait a minute, are you going to record today? We have to. I was so ready. You, on the other hand. Guys, that's it for this week's episode of Young Justice. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure you did.
I'll get them back.
If you want to see next week's episode, Patreon. Subscribe. Yeah, that's
to Patreon.
Subscribe first. Patreon is if you want to see the next one early.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
Press the like button. Hit the bell icon.
Bye.